from pit maneuvers to radar. This police training is standard.
Follow this pen as I move it using your eyes only.
But the candidates aren't.
So you want to stay right here in front of his face.
Abigail Smith has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and a master's in social work.
I was that kid that always wanted to be a cop. I just wasn't ready. After doing social work for about a year and a half, I kind of realized, there's a more beneficial way, and in my opinion, a more productive way to make contact with people, to help people, and that's what helped me make the switch.
Stephen Nua has a bachelor's in psychology and worked as a counselor for juveniles with mental illness.
I guess my interest in law enforcement kind of sparked my senior year of college when I took a criminal law class, which I really enjoyed the class. I feel like I understood it a lot better than most of the classes I've taken in the past.
And Rajane Michael started small and worked her way up.
I started off as an explorer, which was like the very bottom, and then I was a CSO for about a year and a half. Then I was a cadet for 16 weeks, and now I'm a police officer. So for me, it was like a really big accomplishment, and really proud to be where I'm at right now.
And like their backgrounds, Bloomington's 3 newest officers were hired in a non-traditional way, through a new program called Pathways to Policing.
Typically, we would hire police officers from a pool of candidates that already have either a job in law enforcement or they have their post license. The Pathway to Policing program allows us to expand our pool of candidates to folks who do not already have all of the required law enforcement training. The concept is we would hire them and then we would then provide them with that training.
And Police Chief Jeff Potts says removing that barrier to help with training can make a big difference for many different people, especially people of color.
In Bloomington here, I personally have been hiring police officers for about 9 years. And what I've seen in that period of time is our community is becoming more diverse at a pretty rapid pace, actually. And in terms of the pool of candidates that we have to choose from for police officers, that pool of candidates was not very diverse. And in fact, at in some processes, there was no diversity at all in those certified hiring lists. And so we had to try something different to help us be in a better position to hire police officers that, from a diversity standpoint, kind of help us match the diversity of our community. Having a police department that starts to kind of match the demographics of your community will do a couple things. One, it provides the department with a perspective that we might not otherwise have. The second benefit is there are all kinds of studies and research that have been done that indicates that the community will have more trust in a police department that looks more like the community.
That's when Potts teamed up with 5 other agencies to spearhead the Pathways to Policing program, a move that helps candidates who can't afford the schooling or can't afford more debt. The program takes away the financial burden by hiring officers before training and paying them throughout the process.
The Skills was a full-time gig, and having a master's degree, I really couldn't afford to go back to school and pay for a whole nother schooling. So this is very, very beneficial for people who want to be cops and really didn't have the financial means or real time to get into it.
Right out of college, I got a job as a counselor, but obviously I wasn't making enough money to be able to afford going back to school. So being in this program where they're able to provide that financial means for you and you're able to get the experience and transition quickly into the field, that was really beneficial.
If I didn't do this, I would have been going through the skills program anyway, but I would have been going through Metro State. And with that, I mean, you can go through the whole program, but at the end, you're not guaranteed a job. I mean, you could be sitting around for years before you get a job offer. So with this, it was like you knew like what you were doing was, it was going to get you to where you want to be in your department, which was good.
And while Rajane, Stephen, and Abigail went through an accelerated program, they had to meet all the same requirements.
They had to meet all of the same learning objectives that the Minnesota Peace Officer Standards and Training Board established many years ago.
And after 40 hours a week for 4 months at Hennepin Technical College, 5 weeks doing in-house training, and 20 more in the field, these officers will be ready.
I'm just ready to be able to get out in the street, apply those trainings, and hopefully gain more experience over the next few years I'll be here and just being able to, at the end of the day, help people.
Something the police department will continue to excel at thanks to these new officers.
It's absolutely a good thing. We got some great people. It sounds like several departments got some great people, and we're out here and they've been going through a great training program, and they all have great attitudes, and that's something that's going to make the Bloomington Police Department a better police department overall.
As we see our community change in terms of demographics, I feel it's important for the police department to kind of go in the same direction in terms of the diversity of the community is going, so that we can maintain this high level of trust that we enjoy right now on into the future.